Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's KBR Sports, the best sports talk show of your 24-hour day. Coming to you on WODU Studios, the best in college radio. I'm your host, Brendan Abbott, with my two co-hosts, Khaled Lewis to my right and Rashad Pinnell to my left. How you guys doing this morning? It's a nice morning outside, rather sunny, not cold today. You know what I mean?
That's great. I don't get to know that. I had to go there at 6 in the morning. It's cold. I'm in full North Face. Everybody out here with like cutlass shirts on. But that's me.
But you got here somehow in between going to work at that time. So I mean, you do know how it is outside.
It wasn't the full enjoyment because I got to hurry and get here in time. It wasn't the full enjoyment of understanding how the weather was. I didn't even think about the weather when I was out there. I wasn't like, let me see how it feels out here. I was just like, let me get to the studio in time. So I'm here.
Okay, Khaled, what about you?
Man, I'm feeling good. I got enough sleep last night, and I'm happy. Because my exam got pushed back to tomorrow, so I have more time to study.
Oh, wow.
And Monday, when I had my presentation, the projector messed up. So now I got more time to work on it.
But I thought your what's it called? Your presentation was about to be fire.
It was.
So why
would what you need more time for?
Because I can make it more fire.
Oh my god. But wouldn't you be upset that you had it? You were so ready. You got your morale and everything.
I did. Now I was upset. I was like, bro, come on. I just want to get through this presentation. But then I was like, well, looking at it on the bright side, I can shaping it up just to be a little bit more fire.
A little bit more flames. I'm hard pressed to see how this could be possibly any more fire than you already had it. Like I'm sitting here thinking,
right, and you didn't even see the presentation with me presenting it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen what you presented at all. So I'm sitting here imagining this thing's ready to be like the Human Torch.
Oh, it is.
Some new J. Cole stuff.
Oh, bro, it's about to be a volcano.
He says it's about to be a volcano, eh?
It's lit.
Oh wow, that's something different. But, all right, y'all. Let's get into these topics. So to start off with, we're gonna be talking about if the media troll LeBron James? That's the question we're asking because he's been in the news a lot recently. It's not for his play, so we'll get into some of that, and then we'll also ask the question: is RG3 a good fit in Cleveland? Cleveland, wow. Talk about two twigs of the same tree.
Well, you said they was like Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland.
We'll have more at 7:00.
Cleveland, right? And then we'll also get into Anthony Davis, who's now been ruled out for the rest of the season because he's going to be out with finally getting shoulder surgery for a torn labrum he's had, and he's going to also get a procedure done on his left knee. And then we'll finish off by asking the question: should the NFL give the New England Patriots their draft picks back after the continuing Deflategate fiasco? But getting into our first topic with the king himself, LeBron James. Well, so recently, guys, LeBron's been in the news for everything, like I said, except for his play. I mean, it's been about his Twitter. Everything we hear about LeBron is his Twitter. And recently, I guess on Monday or Tuesday, he unfollowed the Cavaliers Twitter account. And it sent everybody in the media into uproar. Yeah, saying, "Oh my gosh, what does this mean? LeBron James unfollows his team's Twitter page." And then when asked about it in a post-game interview by a reporter, you can even tell the reporter didn't want to answer the question. The reporter was just like, "Man, hey, I got to ask this question because it's something that everybody's talking about. So I got to ask the question." You can tell LeBron was just like, next question. He didn't want to. You could tell he was a little bit peeved by the question. And then when they actually asked a question regarding his team in basketball, he was just like, "I'm done. I can't even fathom that this just got asked to me about me following the Cavaliers." But LeBron's been in the media for his social media a lot for quite some time. I mean, we look at it in the past. He had some tweets that when he said to Kyrie, but there were subtweets that people assumed that were towards Kyrie Irving, when he was pretty much made a reference saying that, don't try and ruin something. Or actually, I'll read the tweets. Actually, I was going to try and remember it off memory, but there's no point right here. But this is the first one that he had to Kevin Love last year, where he said, "Stop trying to find a way to fit out and just fit in. Be a part of something special. Just my thoughts." Then thoughts that people thought were, or tweets that people assumed were about Kyrie, is where he said, "It's okay to know you've made a mistake because we all do it at times. Just be ready to live with whatever that comes with it, and be with those who will protect you at all costs." And then when recently, after he had went on a trip to Miami to go to South Beach for a few days off, he was worked out with his teammate Dwayne Wade, and he had tweeted this afterwards: "Can't replace being around great friends that reciprocate the same energy back to you in all facets of life." So it seems like every single little thing LeBron does on social media is always being talked about. in the media or tweeted about something. So the question we asked is LeBron trolled by the media? And for those who don't know, trolled, it's pretty much like, you ever had somebody that every little thing you do, it seems like they're always on your back about it. They just don't let you live. That's what pretty much trolling is. And so that's the question I'm asking. Does LeBron get trolled by the media? Khalid, what's off with you? What do you think?
I feel like he does get trolled by the media. This his whole thing about this tweet and him unfollowing the Cavaliers. Like, why does it matter? The social media is there for a player for anybody to express their opinions, their feelings toward things, show people that this is who they are under like the surface level of just a picture or a face in basketball or in entertainment. And it's just like, what does it matter if he's not following the Cleveland Cavaliers Twitter page? Kanye West only follows one person on his Twitter, and who really cares? Like,
Young Doug only follows one person too.
Exactly. Like, what does it matter if he doesn't follow the Cleveland Cavaliers? It's not a huge story. He just might have unfollowed them one day. It was like, I got too many. I'm following too many people. Just want to unfollow.
And just for a note, an insider for LeBron said that the reason for it was because every year LeBron goes on this little
playoff mode.
Yeah, he goes into playoff mode, shuts off all his social media, where he doesn't engage with social media. So he said that this is what he did, following or preparing for that. But he also unfollowed this is not just the Cleveland Cavaliers, but some Cleveland reporters like Chris Broussard and others. But yeah, so
does he want his information to be a story every 2 minutes for a tweet? Like, it's just social media. It's just Twitter. Like, it's not really that serious for them to be waiting for him to, he sent out a tweet. Let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. Who is he talking about in this tweet? I mean, he could just be saying stuff to say something. Like, everything doesn't have a meaning but behind it. It's just a tweet.
Yeah. All right, Rashad, what do you think?
The media is just trying to always find a way to make LeBron seem like the bad guy. As a guy who's never done nothing wrong in the league, only thing pretty much everybody says wrong was the decision. But yeah, as a guy who's never done morally wrong, they try to find something to pinpoint him out to make him seem like the villain. And honestly, it is wrong. And you can obviously tell this is his playoff mode move, because he also tweeted out a picture of just a blackout picture, meaning showing nothing. It's time to focus, like everything's blocked off. So he tweeted that out as well. So you look at it like, all right, we're accustomed to seeing LeBron do stuff like this. We're accustomed to seeing him do this. Let him tweet about let him tweet about Dwayne Wade. Let him, if he likes Dwayne Wade, he likes Dwayne Wade. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like he has a lot to do with what the media want to project from what he does social media standpoint, because that's the only thing they can find wrong about LeBron. That's the only way they can try to pinpoint something wrong about LeBron, because that's all they want. That's all any news junk was. You want something negative. You don't want nothing positive. Why you think there's no positive stuff in the news for people?
They're just waiting for Steph Curry.
Yeah, they're just waiting. So like he said, wait for Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are waiting. I mean, you see how like media try to do his wife, so they're just waiting for stuff. So, but it's just like this is what's gonna happen with the media. You're gonna find a reason now for the Cleveland Cavaliers organization to be upset about it. Yo, get over it. If he being upset, that's how he's gonna leave. Like you keep antagonizing him because he do stuff like this, he's gonna be out of there. Mm-hmm. You keep thinking he's gonna be out of there, he's gonna be all right. I think I'm gonna leave. I might as well leave. You know what I'm saying? So, just keep playing basketball. If social media means that much to you, go get somebody else like Nick Young or something like that who loves the media or something like that.
And stop crying over.
Yeah.
I want to give a quick shout out to D Sizzle on Rabble TV, who said, "Back in action. Happy Wednesday, fellas. Happy Wednesday to you too, D.
Happy Wednesday to you, my
man." He
man.
said he likes to troll KBR Sports. I like to troll KBR Sports too, man. I'm always on KBR Sports, man. KBR Sports is just, I don't know what it is about it. You just got to pay attention to it. But back to LeBron. I feel as though the media does troll him to an extent, but I feel as though LeBron does play a role in it, because if you know that the media watches every little move you do and every little thing you say, and they always try to read into something that you're saying, and the littlest of tweets, every single thing he says, it gets read into by the media. I mean, this man can't even like a picture on Instagram. I remember when he one of these times he went on dark mode and he liked a picture on Instagram, and everybody was talking about it. Oh, he liked the perfect booties picture on the page or whatever. And yeah, that was the page. And everybody was just talking about it. I was like, this is something so small. Like, well, who cares? But then to some extent, LeBron knows he has this clout and he knows he has this power. So if you know it, then why do you feed into it, kind of thing? Because I know you want to express yourself, but then there's something. It'll be like right at the timing. And sometimes it's timing that plays into a part of it with LeBron James too. So he'll say something like, "Oh yeah, like the thing was about Kyrie. Look out for or be with those that want to take care of you or something like that." Right when news stuff is coming out about Kyrie having issues with the Cavaliers and LeBron. So sometimes I believe it's timing. Do y'all think timing plays a part and the LeBron has a role in it?
Yeah.
because I mean, the man's not gonna change his life because people want to read into his tweets, and just because he sent a tweet at a certain time means he sent it at a certain time. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I wouldn't. So I mean, I'm almost percent sure he's not going to like change his life because what people think about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna keep living the way I live. If you got a problem with it, have a problem with it. It's not gonna change what I do.
I think it does play. He does, because it's funny because sometimes like when you're on Twitter or social media and you like know somebody's gonna be on your page, you do stuff to catch their attention. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, you do like someone watch tweet watching you or whatever. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you'll tweet something out to do that. But I don't think LeBron looks at it like that. I mean, yeah, I'm sure some of his tweets, yeah, he wants to get the message across. He do it for a purpose. Like you need everybody peeps this. I'm gonna make sure this is on ESPN so you know about yourself. Because if I'm telling you in person ain't doing enough for you, because I'm sure LeBron speaks up in practice and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure he's that strong of a leader where he tells you what's wrong in practice. You don't listen in practice, he'll get the whole ESPN to know about it. Maybe then you'll listen.
Well, Brophy had a comment on Rival. He said, Bron is smart. He controls the media, not the other way around. It's all good for his brand. And that's true. I feel as though LeBron knows how to work the media perfectly. Like he's a media manager, just as some people say Peyton Manning is one of those. LeBron is. Every single little thing LeBron does. LeBron seems to be a micromanager.
He does those little things, like not big extravagant tweets and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Just those little things because they know he's gonna get caught.
I don't think LeBron's ever had a straightforward tweet unless it was something unrelated to basketball. Unless it's legit. Congratulations, Kobe Bryant, on your retirement. Mm-hmm. He hasn't said anything straight. I mean, he just tweeted something about Craig Sager, which God bless Craig Sager because now his cancer, we heard, is not in remission anymore. So he's gonna be continuing that fight. So. Praise to you, Craig Sager, and hopefully you keep fighting. But unless it's stuff like that, LeBron every single tweet. I mean, everybody calls his tweets the Da Vinci Code because you gotta legit crack him every single time he tweets about something. You gotta read into every little hashtag, and half the time, like especially when Kevin Love, I want to see if I have the quote right here, but because at the time the time he tweeted the fit out, don't stop trying to fit out but fit in. Kevin Love had said a quote like, I have half the quote here. He said, "I'm comfortable and just not trying to fit, just not trying to, I guess, fit in so much. I had a talk with the guys on the plane right over, and also, and I only have part of the quote, but and he goes on to say that I'm trying to fit out essentially, and that's when LeBron tweeted that statement.
Maybe that's supposed to have been like something more inspirational.
But see, that's the thing, because Kevin Love said that in October, and then LeBron tweeted that in the following February. So it's like. And that was coming towards a time, though, that people were questioning whether Kevin Love was going to stay with the team.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that you look at and you're like, bro, this has to be a subtweet. So, I mean,
it could see as you look at it, it could be a subtweet or it could be a tweet to the pizza man who delivered his pizza the wrong way. He felt like, man, I don't like working here. So he was like, man, fit in your company. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying?
That word choice, fit out and fit in, was specifically with what Kevin Love said. Come on.
But my point is like, yeah, I mean, obviously you see that one's for like Kevin Love, but at the same time, everybody's focused on doing stuff like this when he could just be like, I'm really gonna tweet about the pizza man, but everybody's gonna take it as, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about the words is they so simple and they have so much weight that it can apply to so many situations. The fact that Kevin Love said it might have gave LeBron James the inspiration to use those words,
See, but that's what I'm saying, because that's why we insinuate it's about Kevin Love, because Kevin Love is the one that used those words. And being LeBron James, you know what comes with every little thing you say, and you know how the media trolls you, and so, or how the media monitors you.
But it doesn't seem like that should be. I mean, he used the same words, yeah, but like October to February,
it is a big time gap. But these guys are smart people. LeBron's a smart dude. I mean, you don't become a multi-millionaire player that earns $100 Nike deal coming out of high school by being dumb. The guy's smart. He knows how to work the market.
Big LeBron, bro.
You know what I mean? So he knows what he can say, what he says to the media, and how every little single thing he tweets, how that impacts what the media is going to publish the next day. Like, think about this Cavalier unfollowing. All he did was follow the Twitter account, and it's been talked about for 2 days. I would like to unfollow somebody and have it be talked about for 2 days. Like that's crazy to have that much.
LeBron.
He had exactly, but he knows he's LeBron. He knows the power he has. So he plays a role in this.
I mean, I feel like I don't know if it's more so just LeBron. Because imagine if Kobe did that to the Lakers or something.
Yeah. If Kobe,
imagine how huge that would be.
Notice the thing about Kobe. It got to be LeBron left before. LeBron's left, so when LeBron does it, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, he's gonna leave. Would he leave again?" You know what I mean? If Kobe don't follow the Lakers, everybody's like, "You're retiring. What does that even matter?" Like nobody cares because he's retiring. So
or Durant. We can say this. Okay, you say Durant.
Okay, now if Durant did, that'd be a bigger deal. But the thing is, Durant isn't as social media driven as LeBron is. So it's a different thing when LeBron does it, especially when LeBron was just in Miami with Dwayne Wade, and then you just lost to Miami. You got whooped by them by over 30, and then the Heat fans are cheating. Bron needs Riley. Like that's something. And then he doesn't even show any vitriol towards them. So people are sitting here saying like, man, it doesn't even seem like him and like to Miami, he's the enemy. I mean, the minute they start playing, he's the enemy. But
you're right, but
sometimes it doesn't seem like the same feeling is mutual with LeBron.
Man, LeBron loves everybody.
Yeah, because that's his. I mean, I'm not gonna say he loves everybody, but I'm not gonna go that far. But that is his teammates. Other than like Goran Dragic, that is his teammates. He did just play with them recently.
Dwayne Wade, but the thing is, if they feel that way towards you, the minute the play starts, Dwayne Wade is not giving hugs to LeBron James. They give hugs before and after the game, but when the game starts, Dwayne Wade's coming for that man.
Basketball is business to them.
But the point is, why does it seem like when the ball tips, it seems like the Heat and their team is more viewing the Cavaliers as these guys got to get beat. While LeBron on the other end is like, all right, guys, I love y'all. I'm not going to drive into the paint. I'm not saying LeBron is not trying as hard, but when we see how LeBron will go at a team like Golden State or a team like San Antonio, he doesn't attack the Miami Heat the same way he attacks those two teams.
Because I feel like that they're not looked at as an elite team. So maybe he doesn't want to feel like the bad guy just destroying them. Versus Golden State Warriors, and then
I don't know, Colin.
Yeah, I can't
like the bad guy destroying the team.
I can't say that. I can't say that either because one of the Miami Heat has a chance to win.
Yeah, let Chris Bosh get healthy.
Yeah, that team can go to the finals. That team can go to the finals a lot.
Because LeBron put the beating on teams with no regard for human life, as we saw. That's a quote actually, with no regard for human life by my man Kevin Harlan. That's a quote. LeBron's done things to teams that he didn't care about them at all. So Miami doesn't feel bad about blowing him out by 30. So
of course
he hasn't won.
James.
But the thing is, he hasn't won in Miami since he left. That's the thing. He hasn't won there. LeBron has lost every single game he's played in Miami since he left. He even said
maybe he has a soft spot for them.
Nah, I can't. I'm not even gonna say that. All right, so here's the deal with this. This is how I feel about it. In my opinion, I feel LeBron left that team, right? So LeBron has no animosity towards that team. He left them. They have animosity towards him because he left them. So they're gonna play a lot harder to show him this is what you left more than him like, well, I left y'all. Let me just blow y'all out every time.
Okay, you want to know why I consider that point invalid?
Why?
Because when LeBron left Cleveland, he came for Cleveland. And
no. But see, this is the difference. This is the difference what Cleveland did. Cleveland, man, pretty much sent out like hit lists for this man and stuff like that. Burning jersey and
they
stuff.
Were upset.
Miami didn't go to that extreme. Miami was upset. You seen some people, like get rid of their jerseys and stuff and talk about LeBron's a traitor again. But Cleveland took it to a whole nother level.
You're right, but he admitted his part in that. He admitted that the thing he felt worse about he doesn't feel bad about the fans. He admitted, imagine if I was a star player and I was somebody's favorite player growing up and I looked up to that person. They were my idol, and then you leave. He said he would have been upset too. The person he was upset with at Cleveland was Dan Gilbert for the letter. But when Pat Riley sat here and said LeBron's an enemy after LeBron left, the fans were cheating. LeBron needs Riley. What? I mean, come on, man.
Look at the difference. Look at the difference between that. You have somebody great like Pat Riley.
You're right. He called you an enemy.
He's gonna quit because you're another team now.
But why doesn't LeBron see them as the enemy? Riley was owner.
He does see it as an enemy. He does. I mean, I'm sure he does see him as an enemy. He sees every team as an enemy. That is. I mean, I can't sit here and say he softens up for the Miami Heat.
I mean,
I can't sit here and say that.
You saw the way he played against Golden State.
You can say the same thing with Golden State in San Antonio.
What do you mean?
Steph Curry can't beat them. He can't beat them in San Antonio. You see how he said like Steph Curry wants to beat them so bad that, so LeBron can't win in Miami. Steph can't win in San. It's kind of like the same thing in a sense.
But we saw what San Antonio's defense did to stop Steph Curry. Look, Miami doesn't do the same thing.
That was only a loss by like 9 points.
Yeah, and Miami doesn't do the same thing. They got destroyed by Miami. Miami doesn't gear the whole defense around LeBron James. So
that's because they don't have to.
Exactly. I mean, nobody's gonna really stop LeBron James. I mean,
I mean, LeBron still got his in the game.
LeBron did, but
LeBron still got his. Nobody else didn't get theirs.
It's one of those things that you remember when the Thunder lost, because this is the last thing you can say about this. I don't want to stop. But remember when the Thunder lost to Miami in the finals? And everyone was talking about Kevin Durant didn't show up. Kevin Durant averaged 30 points practically in that finals. But the problem is the stat line doesn't show the effort. That's the thing, because you can tell when Kobe is really trying to like win. You know what I'm saying? You can put up those points, but then people are like, okay, the points and the stats look nice, but when we're watching it, you don't see the full effort. Like we know Russell Westbrook wanted to win that series. You know what I mean? That's where people question Kevin Durant's killer instinct, because we watched the series and we're like, okay, we didn't see the effort that we would have liked to have seen for Kevin Durant. That's kind of what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying now?
Yeah, I can't get what you're saying.
All right, but. Yeah, that's one of those things that
LeBron, he gets kind of like Kevin Durant.
I guess Miami, he kind of gets a little. He doesn't show the same kind of.
Becomes Russell.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like because even when they lost to Golden State, remember he said we don't. He called out Cleveland. He said we don't show the same amount of. We lost to this team in the finals, and we don't show the same kind of ire for them that they show for us. Like they're more hungry than we are right now. So that shows losing to Golden State bothers him more than even losing to Miami. So I mean, but that's the team he lost to in the finals. But you know. That it is what it is. But going on to the next topic, talking about Cleveland again. Cleveland and RG3. I didn't think I would say those two things together. Actually, I'm actually quite appalled. A report that was actually released this morning that Cleveland seems to be the prevailing team to sign RG3, Robert Griffin III. So, and this is a myriad of teams that are interested in RG3, like the Denver Broncos, the Los Angeles Rams, the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of teams have shown interest in RG3. The Dallas Cowboys have shown interest in RG3. But amongst all those teams, it seems like he's leaning towards Cleveland. So, and this is a Cleveland team that didn't have that great of a season last year. I mean, they were 25th in offense, 25th or 27th, actually. Actually, I have the stat right here. But they weren't all that. They weren't all that impressive. 25th. They weren't all that impressive on the offensive side of the football, especially with Johnny Manziel and the whole controversy that went down with him. So him going to Cleveland is kind of like a stunning development. So y'all, what do y'all think about him, RG3 in Cleveland? Is he a good fit? Will he be a good fit if he ends up inevitably just going there? Because right now it's all they're saying that is most likely, but it's not definitive until he signs on the contract. So Rashad, what do you think about it?
Brendan, Khalid, and everybody watching, let's be honest real quick. There's no such thing as a good fit in Cleveland for anybody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You're gonna bring in a high caliber quarterback like Robert Griffin, who we've seen can play. We've seen him can play when he's healthy. You're bringing him in a worse situation than he was in Washington. He lost all the star pieces this year. Your number one receiver can't stay out of trouble. You just get rid of your other receiver, who was supposed to be your number one receiver. You lose your star safety. You lose your star center. So you basically have no line anymore. What is there for a quarterback to go there for? Like, I mean, they must be paying him money, a max contract, plus out-of-pocket money on the side, because that's all it's going to take to get someone in there, because that's how bad this team is. So, honestly, there's no such thing as a good fit in Cleveland.
Okay. Khalid, what do you think? Actually, Khalid, right before you go, sorry for cutting you off. I need to say something real quick. So anybody that's listening that wants to join on the debate, number is 757-683-4405. I always forget some music.
Say it one more time for him.
757-683-4405. It always leaves in my mind. And if you want to tweet your comments to us, you tweet us at KBR_sports. And also you comment on the YouTube channel and on Rabble and Spreaker. All right, Khalid, go ahead.
I want to agree with Rashad, and there's probably no fit for Robert Griffin III going to Cleveland. One, because of the way the division is, there's no way he's gonna win. Like, he's gonna win the division. and not in the coming years. With Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, I feel like that he should definitely look into the options with the Jets and the Broncos. I feel like the Jets would be a great learning experience for him, and the Broncos, he'll have a pivotal role on the offense and to support that great defense. But the Browns, it's just the organization is just not together, and I don't think it will help RG3 as a person.
Well, see, now that your last line right there, and Rashad's very last line also, are actually the two reasons I'm seeing why he's going to Cleveland. Hugh Jackson, the new coach, because you say you don't see him being a better person, and Rashad said he doesn't know what he's going to Cleveland for. It's Hugh Jackson. I mean, Hugh Jackson, what he did in Cincinnati with Andy Dalton and his work with A.J. McCarron, we've seen both those guys have A.J. McCarron, especially when he stepped into the role for Andy Dalton, played considerably well. And then Andy Dalton has already played at a high level for a number of years. The only problem has been their playoff play, but that's neither here or there. He's played well in the regular season. So he's going there for Hugh Jackson, and Hugh Jackson has a reputation to lead for being a great offensive mind, and in particular being great with quarterbacks. And what is RG3? I mean, what was the problem with RG3 in his last stop in Washington? Is the fact that Jay Gruden and I wouldn't say Mike Shanahan to a degree, because Mike Shanahan was the coach when RG3 had his best season. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Jay Gruden wasn't exactly all for RG3, so the offense didn't exactly cater to RG3, because RG3 wanted to be more so of a pocket quarterback. And for a guy that we could argue that his rookie season, what made RG3 special was his athleticism and his ability to move and to read option. And I feel as though when you have, because at this point, RG3's hit, I don't want to say rock, because rock bottom is, I say
that's Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel right now is practically the epitome of rock bottom as far as that goes. But RG3's ego is taking a hit, because whereas in Washington, he had the power to say, "Hey, I don't want to be a running quarterback. I don't want to do this and that." Now he's in a situation where, you've fallen off your pedestal. You're no longer the rookie of the year, and you're not that high velocity player that we saw. So now he's more at the liberty of the coaches and the offensive coordinators in Cleveland to do what he wants to do. And Hugh Jackson has a reputation of taking quarterbacks and making them play at a high level. I mean, what do you guys think about him going there for Hugh Jackson?
See, this is how I feel about Hugh Jackson. Like, I understand Colin Kaepernick said he want to play for him. Robert Griffin wanted to play for him. But if you look at what he did with Andy Dalton and A.J. McCarron, look who he had there. Look who was on that team to make A.J. McCarron and Andy Dalton look that good. Mm-hmm. You had one of the top, I'd probably say top 5 receivers in the game. You had a decent line. You had a running back who could take some of the load off. You had a nice solid defense. So I mean, it's easier for them guys.
They were a solid team.
Robert Griffin doesn't want to be a running quarterback. What are you gonna do with no line? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not gonna stand there and just take sacks. He's gonna take more beatings than he did in Washington and Cleveland.
Real quick, I need to interject real quick. Football is America commenter says no one talking about the Browns hiring Pep Hamilton. It's true. That is a good note. And can you honestly be trying to fail any harder?
You say, can you try to be failing any harder?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at least with the Rams, you have some type of potential to play with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot more than Cleveland now is the Raiders of old. Mm-hmm. Not the old like when we was a child, but like Jamarcus Russell type Raiders team where they was nothing for 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. This is what the Cleveland Browns have come to. Mm. Why would you like a coach isn't on the field for you? Yeah, he can teach you how to play well for your next stop, because it won't be in Cleveland where he'll be playing well.
But a coach also helps accumulate talent.
It does,
and that could be somebody that could be something that RG3 could be looking at Hugh Jackson as somebody that will look out for me, will try to help me recruit talent, will try to help this team get talent. I don't think he's looking at Cleveland as a place that is going to stay desolated for years to come. He's looking at it as a place that I will go and make an impact with Hugh Jackson, and we'll be the start of something greater in this city.
Yeah, okay.
But do you think he could be an impact anywhere else, a bigger impact anywhere else?
Well, I see that's the thing. But you look at the other options he could go to. You got Gary Kubiak in Denver, of course. Then you got Jeff Fisher in Los Angeles, who they do have talent in Los Angeles with Todd Gurley as a running back and Tavon Austin as a wide receiver and Kenny Britton, those guys. The problem is Jeff Fisher and his quarterbacks. Can we name the last quarterback that Jeff Fisher had that had an outstanding season?
That had an outstanding season?
Mm-hmm. Name the last quarterback, and you see how long it's taken.
Didn't he? Didn't he? Wasn't
Vince
he?
Young.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Young.
didn't he coach for Tennessee?
It was Vince Young's rookie season.
It was.
You know how long ago that was?
It was a minute ago.
Exactly.
But
and that's the theme with Jeff Fisher and quarterbacks. And RG3 doesn't want to go to a situation. I mean, Los Angeles is nice now. I mean, you got the sunshine. Everything's beautiful in Los Angeles. I mean, come on, man. It's Los Angeles. But it's a matter of, that's one of those things where market doesn't exactly proceed over coach, if that makes sense.
But I mean, there's market is going to proceed over coach when it comes to Cleveland. What is there in Cleveland?
Market didn't proceed over Cleveland when it came to LeBron.
No, see, LeBron's from there.
I mean, he is from there.
That's different.
I mean, he was in
Miami. LeBron started there though.
And Kevin Love was. I mean, he was in Minnesota.
Kevin Love came because of LeBron.
And he got his.
But I'm saying, but you see, market proceeds.
Those are no LeBron change, man.
I'm just saying.
Neither one of those.
No, I'm
for RG3 or Hugh Jackson. No LeBron.
I'm just saying, market can precede your talent on your current team.
I understand,
but I mean, nobody else
to the
wants
Browns for the tutelage from the coach, but the organization as a whole, I don't think it'll push him further.
Brendan, I agree with what you're saying, but Brendan, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You say they're going to bring in better prospects for upcoming years, you know, better free agents, better draft picks, you know, stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. You say it's going to bring. How long does RG3 have? Because he's going to take a beating this year.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong for saying that? Do you believe that line where they just got rid of their star player as well, who basically was the only part of the line?
If he ends up going there, I do believe
he's going to take a lot of hits.
Yeah, he took hits in Washington.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we see his health isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can't. He's pretty much another Michael Vick, just not to that extreme. So how long does that last before the talent finally comes? Because you're not getting nothing this year because everybody's gone already. You already spent the money you need. Everything's gone. So next year, you're hoping to bring in people to Cleveland. You're hoping that this team looks like they have potential this year with RG3 and Hugh Jackson there. You're hoping players see that. When you have teams on the rise, kind of like a Jacksonville who always has money, and Oakland Raiders who always has money.
You're not gonna fix the team in one season.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's gonna take some time.
It's gonna take time, but how long does RG3 have before his career has to be over because of injuries?
Well, I don't think RG3 is looking at it from the standpoint of how long do I have before my career is over. I think he's looking at it as a standpoint of where will my next best opportunity to prove myself be?
It's not there.
Who will help me maximize my ability? I don't think he feels as though, even though Los Angeles or Denver arguably has the better talent, he might be sitting here think of it as which coach would make me a better player, that even if I left Cleveland in years to come, because he hasn't definitely gone to Cleveland yet, but even if he went to Cleveland, we haven't even seen the contract that he's got.
Yeah, you're right.
So
much more likely it's gonna be a max deal.
Yeah,
I don't know about that, but the contract, I don't think RG is getting the max.
I mean, they have the money, and I mean,
I don't think he's
why else would he go to Cleveland?
Nothing on his plate.
He doesn't.
All the reports are saying his reason for going to Cleveland is Hugh Jackson.
I know,
Hugh Jackson is the reason, but the money. The money, because Denver has just as much money to throw at it.
They do because of Brock Osweiler.
I feel like he's focusing more on the coach's help rather than the team as a whole because of the Washington organization. But I feel like you got to also look at the team too. You got to go to a place where you know the other players are going to make you better. You're going to make the other players better.
No, I'm not saying I agree. Don't take what I'm saying as me agreeing with where he's going. But I'm saying I'm giving you the reasons as to why he's going there.
Okay, you have Hugh Jackson there, but can you do the same thing by going to Denver and learning under John Elway?
You could make a case for that, but here's the thing. I guess that's a great case.
Yeah,
that's a great. But the thing is, John Elway isn't coaching you. There's a difference. That's the same thing with people in the Knicks now. Phil Jackson is the president. He's not the coach. A lot of people say free agents would come there if he was coaching. He's not the coach. You're going to Gary Kubiak. You're not going to Phil. You're not going to John Elway. So he's going to Hugh Jackson, not whoever the president of the Browns is. So that's pretty much a lot of players. Coaches play a big deal in how these players sometimes decide where they want to go.
Right, yeah.
The Knicks are even talking about hiring the Thunder's general manager or assistant general manager because he's close with Kevin Durant. That's how much of a role coaches and relationships play in sports. So I guess that's how I see RG3's reasoning for it. And the only because I mean, think about it. The main thing we say for him to go to Los Angeles is that it's Los Angeles and that he has better talent. But the Rams aren't a team that has made the playoffs in years since what, the greatest show on turf, I believe.
But they have a greater chance than Cleveland.
They do have a better chance. But when he's looking at it, he's sitting there saying, which place is going to help me become the best player I can be? He's not even looking. He might not be looking at a standpoint from I could get hurt because he's already gotten hurt in Washington, and it's not like these other places he's going to have superb lines also. So he's like, the chance of me getting hurt is still higher regardless of whatever place I go to. So why don't I go to a place where a guy's going to mold me into a better player, make me the best quarterback I can be? He has a track record with quarterbacks that's proven to be great. Because you look at all the other coaches' record with quarterbacks. I mean, Gary Kubiak, his last notable quarterback that he had was Matt Schaub in Houston, and we saw how that played out.
I mean, actually, Matt Schaub wasn't bad for a while. And then he had those two bad seasons.
For a while.
He had 2 bad seasons, and then he was out of there for life.
You see, he wants to go to somebody that has shown that. I mean, Andy Dalton recently he's been playing good. That's all it's been. He's been playing good, and AJ McCarron stepped in and played well also. But that's gonna be an interesting development to see how that turns out. I mean, RG3 in Cleveland. I mean, it's cold there, bro. I mean, take a jacket if you're gonna go there. Take a jacket.
Without that line, you take 5. Getting hurt again.
Yeah, take 5. I mean, when you get hit in Cleveland, you feel it. You feel it's cold there. It's windy.
Shock the bone.
Yeah, exactly. But going on to the next topic. Actually, shifting gears to the NBA. Anthony Davis just recently came out and said that he's gonna be done. He's not gonna be playing the Olympics this season. I mean, this upcoming summer, because he's gonna be sitting out the rest of the season with torn labrum surgery, and he's gonna get an operation done on his knee. And according to him, he's been playing 3 years with the torn labrum. Excuse me? 3 years? 3? You want to tell me 1 year you averaged practically 21 points, 10 rebounds. The next year, 24 points, 10 rebounds. And this year, 24 points and 10 rebounds with a torn labrum for 3 years? Guys, how do I get one of those? How do I tear it? Because when you play like that for 3 years, like that's crazy. And now he's finally getting it repaired and everything, because he said the pain just became too unbearable for him to play with. So, but the problem is, when you look at Anthony Davis's career, it seems like he can never finish a whole season. I mean, this season he played 61 games. The season before that he played 68, and he's never been able to play. He's missed 20. If you look at his career in totality of the number of games, he's missed 20% of his career games. So when you look at it, how do you guys feel as though the injuries may impact Anthony Davis's career? Do you think they might limit his career? Because every single time, no matter, I don't care what anybody tells me, getting a knee surgery reduces you athletically. Like RG3 is not the same athlete he was his rookie season as he is now, because he had to get the knee surgery. Sometimes you have exceptional freaks like Adrian Peterson that get knee surgeries and stuff and come back and play better. But most times, like we seen with Derrick Rose, you come back a lesser athlete. So how do you guys think these injuries are going to impact Anthony Davis's career in the long run? Khalid, let me hear what you think.
Well, after hearing this man's been playing with the torn labrum for 3 years and been putting up those kind of numbers, I feel like he's going to have like some kind of Dwayne Wade effect, where he gets hurt, he gets fixed up, and then he's not the top of his ability, but he's still good. I still feel like he's going to be efficient. Like for him to be going for like fighting through the pain of that for 3 years, and then he just getting fixed after going through like rehab and stuff like that, and maybe after a couple games or so after him lagging off, I feel like he'll come back and I'll give it like 20% as less efficient than what he is. Okay, he won't be 100%.
All right, Rashad, what do you think?
Getting surgery is the best thing he could do. That's the best decision he's made in his career. I don't believe his shoulder was torn for 3 years. I believe it was probably injured, not torn. You're not playing for 3 years with a torn shoulder. His knee, he's not
partially torn.
I mean, partially a slight tear. I mean, it's not the same thing as like how he makes it seem now. Because I mean, I play with tendonitis, and that junk gets to the point where I can't even lift my shoulder up no more for a week.
You got to think about it though. They get shots.
Yeah,
so they have means to deal with it.
I mean, even Tony Romo constantly get shots, and even then he had to go out.
He did.
So like, I mean, that's your back. That's your back.
It gets inevitably to a point that you can't deal with it no more. And that's getting to that point now.
3 years is a long time though.
competitive fight.
Think about that's all the summer workouts you do to and everything.
Kobe played with torn ligament. Kobe played with
Not for 3 years straight.
yeah, he did.
He had surgery.
Kobe played multiple years with his fingers being all.
Finger's not a shoulder. Shoulder's the most sensitive part of your body.
That didn't Dwayne Wade play with the shoulder injury?
I'm saying 3 years.
Oh, 3 years, but
Not for 3 years.
I believe him. I believe him. Because there's no physician that's even come out and say he's speaking falseness.
Mhm.
I believe him that he's played with it for 3 years.
I don't think it was torn. Like he's talking. Like
Yeah, think about it. He's been the best player on this team since he's been on there.
Yeah,
So
but
he had to he had to work through it.
as far as his knee, the type of player he is, I don't think it's going to affect him that much really, because he's a explosive player. Yes, he can jump out the gym, all that stuff like that. But at the same time, he's not to the point where it's a lot of burst. You know what I'm saying? Like an attack the basket like a Derrick Rose, how it messes him up, or kind of how Russell Westbrook came back at first from his injury. It wasn't as well. He was still explosive, but you know what I'm saying? We saw a little difference at first. I don't think it's going to affect him that much. Getting surgery, this is how I look at it. Surgery does make you play weaker, but at the same time, you haven't been injured lessens your play as well. So I feel like it could do nothing but get better for him, especially the type of player he is. And if you go, missing 20% of the games is a lot, but at the same time, he's still playing 60-some games a season. You have players who sit out games for rest anyway and don't play. So it's technically he's just playing through injury instead of rest.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's gonna mess up anything with his greatness. He's still gonna be the best player on that team. He's still gonna be potential MVP talks one day. He was almost MVP talks after missing games last year as well. So I don't think it's gonna do anything.
I think that he's in like a very tricky situation right now. I even saw Dwayne Wade give him advice and say, take as much time as you need to recuperate from this injury, because it seems a lot of times that, like he said, he's been playing with it for 3 years, whatever state his shoulder was in. He's been playing with an injured shoulder for practically 3 years. So a lot of times guys just want to get on the court or on the field and play through their injuries. But a lot of times in hindsight, you see that actually hurts you even more than it might have helped you or your team in that moment. So I believe that he should definitely take the time he needs to get healthy from the injury. And because of his style of play, because like you did say, Rashad, he's not exactly a herky-jerky kind of player like Derrick Rose is. He resembles Tim Duncan in a lot of facets, because he's very fundamentally sound. So his game isn't predicated off a lot of athleticism, unless you want to talk about him getting blocks and stuff. But his game isn't exactly requiring him to be soaring like Jordan kind of thing. But I do believe that it can affect your quickness and things of that nature. So in regards to that, he might not be as quick in things, but with this day and age of technology, man, you just never know. You think a guy gets a surgery that's gonna sideline him and malign him for Lord knows how long. He comes back the next season and he's playing like he just got drafted or something. It's crazy. You don't even know how it's possible. So I think that with Anthony Davis and because it made it easier for him to do it this season, especially since the Pelicans are so bad. Like they only have, I think, 22 wins on the season at this point, or no, 25, I believe. And that's a considerable drop from how good they were last season. Last year they were in the playoffs. So him playing through that this season, it just got to a point he was just like, I don't even need to do it anymore. So I guess it made it easier. But we've seen guys that like Tracy McGrady and other players that have had consistent knee surgeries that weren't the same. So you guys think he'll come back and be the same guy that he's been, that we were considering giving the MVP to?
Yeah, like if he's been playing with a knee injury this long, it's like it's his shoulder. He's been playing with the knee injury too. Why not?
I don't think so. Like I said, I'm not like 20% off of his performance. I know maybe he wasn't at 100% with that knee surgery. That knee injury, and he's playing probably like I'd say 85%. I'm not gonna knock him down to 65. I'm gonna say he goes down to about 75%. But he still takes a hit to his performance. And
his 75% is still good enough, better than most centers and power forwards who guard him. Like he's too quick at his position already while being hurt.
Yeah, he's still going
to get around. He's still going to get around players that his size. It's just he's just a naturally born athlete at his position. There's not that many people that's faster than him in his position. Like that can cover him laterally.
Mm-hmm.
and he's still gonna be able to split. He's not gonna mess up. I feel like all the things that happen is his jump shot's gonna get better because he's not feeling pain in his shoulder.
He does have a good shooting coach. His mid-range jumper has improved each season. So hopefully he does end up improving. Anthony, get better, get well. Hope the shoulder heals up good. They're gonna miss you in the Olympics this season or this off season, that's for sure. But going on to our last topic, actually, going to talk about the New England Patriots and an actual report that came out on Monday that Robert Kraft a month ago had written a letter to the commissioner Roger Goodell of the National Football League requesting the Patriots draft picks back that were confiscated in the wake of the Deflategate. And they got a first-round pick from this season taken away and a fourth-round pick of 2017 and $1 million taken from them. So Robert Kraft initially Robert Kraft took the stance of, all right, I'll just accept my penalties and we'll have a great in the betterment for the betterment of the league, I'll accept my penalties. And it was believed that he believed the NFL was going to let up afterwards, but then the NFL, after he accepted him, continued to pursue the case against Tom Brady. So after that, Robert Kraft, kind of reneged on how he felt initially, and now after the court obviously sided with Tom Brady, Judge Berman initially sided with Tom Brady. Now they're in an appellate court after the NFL appealed it, and
because he was supposed to be out for 4 games.
Yeah, he was supposed to have been. The NFL ruled he was going to be suspended for 4 games, and then he appealed it and then he went to court. He won the decision, and then now the NFL is appealing that decision in an appellate court. So now it's just going back and forth. Even though now this first round of court meetings seem to have gone into favor of the NFL, but pretty much now Robert Kraft, this is the stance he took. He said, I personally believe that when the league made the decision, they did not factor in the ideal gas law. They admitted that publicly. They had a full year of being able to observe Tom Brady play all the rules of whatever the NFL was and make any judgments there. We have laid it out pretty straightforward, and now it's up to them to decide. So what do you guys think the New England Patriots should be given back their draft picks?
No, the ideal gas law, isn't that when the player can request like the perfect size for the football or something like that?
It's all that scientific, all that stuff they had in the Wells investigation and all that. It's pretty much all of that being brought into this. But do you think that they should get their draft picks back?
I don't think so. I mean, it definitely. I know that's like really hurting them that they lost the draft picks and they may need them, but if they ongoing investigation and nobody has really taken, other than the $1 million and the draft picks, nobody really has taken any punishment from this, from the from the Patriots organization. Because when you play football, the team is supposed to provide their own footballs, so it's obvious. Well, not obvious, but that's why they're going to the investigation. Why the balls weren't inflated to the right amount, or because Tom Brady has to have the ball a certain way or something, and it's considerably lighter than what the Patriots ball. The Colts balls were. But the thing is, it's like they haven't given up anything really. You say that you didn't it wasn't like y'all fault or whatever, but y'all do provide the balls. Y'all inflated to the way that they're supposed to, and it didn't meet the requirements. So you do have to take a punishment for that. And since Tom Brady didn't lose his 4 games, they can't. I don't feel like they should get back those draft picks.
All right, Rashad, what about you?
For Robert Kraft to accept the penalty because he feel like he's gonna lessen it, that's his fault. That's it. That's your fault for not fighting it. No, they're not gonna give you back your picks. I don't think you should get back your picks either. That was your mistake. You didn't want to fight this hard enough, so they took your picks, and then you feel like, oh, there's really nothing to be found. You should get it back. Nah, it doesn't work like that. Law doesn't work like that. Court doesn't work like that. So, as far as we see, Tom Brady's he's still fighting, not for the suspension and everything. So you're like, okay, well, we've seen a clean season where everything's been good. We've seen everything happen like that. We've seen that they technically don't have to be cheaters or not cheaters at all. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't change the fact that in the moment it happened, in the moment it appeared to have happened, in the moment this is Roger Goodell, putting this with them, be like, y'all need to stop with these, things that leading y'all to these accusations. Like you've already been known once for something like this. You can't just keep putting yourself in the news for stuff like this. This is your punishment. Mm-hmm. So for Robert Kraft to, say, okay, I accept it. Maybe, hopefully you lessen it up for us, and they don't. Well, you already accepted the penalty. you've come to the agreement that you're getting the penalty, so you're not going to just get it back.
Okay, so D Sizzle commented. He said, to the contrary, I think the Patriots should lose more draft picks because he thinks Brady got away with one, so the NFL should double down. So this is how I see it from the Patriots perspective, because I believe in the Patriots eye of things. The NFL is convicting they're running two different cases, but they're running one case but punishing two entities. So the NFL, you bring your punishment. He accepted the punishment. He accepted the punishment in the wake, and then let Tom Brady fight his battle. But he accepted his punishment, some believe, because I remember I saw ESPN's Stephen A. Smith report on First Take one day that after Spygate, coming into this situation, the NFL had warned Bill Belichick that if you're found to have been complicit in this to any extent, you could be banned. So he accepted those draft picks and hoping that the NFL would just, okay, we've been punished. We all been, as a group, we've been punished. We're going to let this go. But then they continued to pursue Tom Brady after this, because that's when he was like, all right, wait a minute. Because what I thought him and all the other owners is a collective thing. So when he agreed to it as a betterment for the whole NFL, because it doesn't look good for the NFL to be in the news for court and everything like that, to be consistently in the news for something negative. And this was the whole storyline going into Super Bowl week and post Super Bowl week. So he felt as though that the NFL did them wrong, didn't hold up to their word, because D will say you guys don't need to be so formal. You can stop calling them the Patriots. We're cool if you just call them the cheaters.
Oh my God.
But he felt as though that the NFL would take into consideration all those other things, especially with the Ted Wells investigation, and would let it go at the punishment. But then when they went on to suspend Tom Brady, that's when he was like, okay, hold on a second. Now you just went a whole nother direction, that because he thought that Patriots being punished as a group. He didn't know they were going to continue to go after Tom Brady. So when you look at it from that standpoint, he has a case, because if you're trying to prove Tom Brady's complicity in the what happened with the footballs, then why are you punishing the whole Patriots as an organization? Because whenever a domestic violence case has occurred and it was a singular player that did something, or when a player violated a violation on the field, that singular player was fined, or that singular player was suspended. But in the case of Tom Brady, now the whole team was punished. It wasn't just Tom Brady that's been punished. Now it's the whole team, and Tom Brady's the one that has to fight it in court. So
why does he have a case?
What do you? Because in every other circumstance, because it depends on what is the NFL fighting here. Is the NFL fighting for Tom Brady to be found guilty, or are they trying to argue for the Patriots to be found guilty? Because if you're arguing for Tom Brady, then suspend Tom Brady but give the draft picks back. If you're trying to prove the Patriots had something, the whole Patriots organization had something to do with it, then why are you punishing Tom Brady?
Who says it has to be one or the other?
But see,
you have a track record of punishing one or the other. That's his point. And then you can't go ahead and switch it up because it's the Patriots now.
If the Patriots has reoccurring situations, they can do what they want to do. Just because Robert Kraft feels like he accepted that, everything should be gone. No, it's the NFL's choice. I want to punish the Patriots and I want to punish Tom Brady specifically. That's their choice. There's nothing wrong with that.
I understand what you're saying when you said they should choose one or the other. I feel like if they're gonna target Tom Brady directly, they should target specific players on the team. But I feel like them targeting the whole team as an organization was a better choice than taking their draft picks rather than trying to suspend Tom Brady. And Tom Brady didn't get suspended. So I still feel like that they shouldn't get their draft picks back, because nobody really got repercussions for that.
Okay, Brophy said Tom Brady is the team, and then Football is America said, let's be clear, had this been a coach on a team that can't win, he would have been gone after Spygate, never heard from again. Instead, because the Patriots are a winning organization, we let everything go. It is the foundation of the NFL. Greg Hardy, countless drug allegations, domestic violence, etc. You see, here's the thing that their cases. If you're fighting for, because this was something that was, you're right, the power of the NFL, the commissioner was collectively bargained by the NFL and the players. But if the NFL is fighting to I guess prove the commissioner's power in this case, then make that a separate case. You don't use the Patriots as scapegoats for that case, and that's what Robert Kraft is saying, because you don't just exercise an exertion of power just because you want to make an example of somebody, when every other example prior to that you either punished the player or the whole team. When the Falcons were found to have been pumping crowd noise, you punished the team. You didn't punish the specific players or anything like that, or anybody that had no knowledge of it. When the coach, the head coach is found of it, normally the coach is put on leave or something like that, or the coach is suspended to an instance of degree. But this is a player we're talking about. So you're trying to go after the player and the organization. So that's what his case is. He's like, give us our draft picks back, because if you're going to try and go after Tom, and the Ted Wells investigation wasn't found to be enough conclusive evidence that we had anything to do with it, because they lost. They lost. He said this after the NFL lost. So he's saying, give us the draft picks back after y'all already have lost. I mean, NFL has appealed it, but they technically lost in court with the Ted Wells investigation and everything to try and prove that Tom Brady knew something about the footballs being underinflated. Because this case went from proving Tom Brady's. If you think about the case, the dialogue of the case has changed at this point. Now the case has changed from Tom Brady knew something about the footballs, and it changed to Tom Brady's cooperation with the NFL. So if you're trying to prove that he knew something about the footballs, you lost that case essentially, or you couldn't find a means to prove it. So the Robert Kraft sitting here saying, so if you couldn't prove that we knew anything about the footballs, and you're just trying to get this one dude on a cooperation charge, give us our picks back.
I mean, he can feel like that, but at the same time, NFL can do what they want to do.
Yeah,
NFL can feel how they want. You're just saying, like, you know what I'm saying?
He's one of the owners that
they are.
pays your check. He's one of the owners that that's part of that. It's not like the NFL is a whole separate entity. Robert Kraft is part of them.
Mm-hmm.
He makes up one of the owners that pays for this whole NFL check thing that goes around, that pays Roger Goodell's check. So him and Roger had an understanding that apparently wasn't a complete understanding. So that's where he's coming from.
But at the same time, he's still just the owner. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, they're still higher authority than he is. All he do is, give the money for Roger Goodell to make.
But that's the owners are the authority. That's the thing.
They're not more authority than the board.
Roger Goodell answers to the owners. The owners.
If they enter to the boards, then it would already happened. It already been over with. He would have got his picks back by now. As we see, it doesn't. You see, he's in the letter, and it doesn't work.
It's because it's the other owners along with it. That's what he said. He wants to get his other owners in conjunction with him. Roger Goodell answers to the owners. And then he wrote the letter to Roger Goodell because he believed, because Roger Goodell, obviously he's the commissioner and he's the one that puts down the punishments. But Roger Goodell answers to the owners. If the owners, there was a point in time that people were calling for Roger Goodell's job, and the owners and Jerry Jones most verbally supported Roger Goodell, because the owners are the ones that put Roger Goodell in that position. So when he's feeling this way, it's because he's one of the people that helped put Roger Goodell in that position. Now
Roger Goodell is the one who took the picks away, right?
Yeah, Roger Goodell is the one that took the picks away. He's the one that hands down the punishments. The owners are just the ones that oversee his conduct. But that's what.
But shouldn't he be pleading to the owners?
At the same
that's
time,
what he's pleading to them and Robert Kraft.
But at the same time, the owners don't really have anything. They can't really. I mean, you as an owner, you can't really be like, I don't want this man in office no more. In a sense, yeah, you can feel that way. You can voice your opinion about it, and then eventually get something done about it. But at the same time, they're not his. At the same time, they're not his bosses. Roger Goodell's still their bosses in a sense.
Roger Goodell's not the owner's bosses. If the owners wanted, Roger Goodell would be fired. The owners are Roger Goodell's, and they pay Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell's not paying the owners.
Roger Goodell makes money. They're not. Roger Goodell makes money from the owners. They're not paying him. He makes money from them. It's a difference. There's
a difference. But if the owners wanted, Roger Goodell would be fired.
Their opinion would want him fired. They're not firing him himself.
They do. What are you talking?
They're not the one.
Do you know how the NFL works?
Yeah, I understand how it works, man. If they come together, your opinion
doesn't make your opinion more valid.
So your opinion. Why is your opinion? It's an opinion. No, it's an opinion. I'm telling you the same thing too.
You're yelling at me when you yelling doesn't make your opinion more valid. But lower your voice and talk.
I am talking. No, let me talk. Let me talk then.
I'm letting you talk. Go ahead.
As a collective group, your opinion is what separates. Your opinion. They're not the ones who you're fired. No, their opinions come together. I want this guy fired, and eventually it leads to it happening. They're not the ones firing him.
They are the ones firing. The owners are the ones that put him in that position. The owners are the ones that decide who the commissioner is. Go back and read on how the owners are selected. That's how the owners work. The commissioner. Sorry, the commissioners work. It's the same thing with the NBA. When the NBA wanted Donald Sterling gone, he was an owner. They had all the owners had to collectively agree on it for him to be booted out, because you can't just take away a guy's team. So he emphatically was forced to sell his team. But that's how the NFL works. So if the
owner, that's the case, then all the owners should come together, and he shouldn't be focusing on Roger Goodell, like trying to plead to him. He should be pleading to the owners so that they can come together.
See, but that's what I'm saying. He wrote the letter to Roger Goodell because Roger Goodell's the one that handed down. He carries the authority of the NFL. Okay, so he wrote the letter to Roger Goodell because Roger Goodell's the one that passed down the decision to punish the Patriots, right? So Roger Goodell would be Roger Goodell's like Richard Sherman said, in a sense, Roger Goodell's the figurehead. You know what I'm saying? So Roger Goodell is the figurehead. So he wrote that to Roger Goodell. But if you read in the article, the last part of Robert Kraft's statement, he said, I want to get the other owners collectively to understand this because this could happen to their teams also. So he's trying to get the other owners, not just by himself, not just to Roger, but to the other owners to understand his position so that the other owners will chime in with him. Because when the other owners, when it's a collective feeling, that's when, you know, that the league has the reason to do this and that. That's why when you see the NBA, the collective bargaining agreement, when they wanted this whole thing with the cap situation, because remember when LeBron and them first formed the Big Three, all these owners were upset. And so now they made the cap situation so that can never happen again because all those owners felt that way. It wasn't exactly Davis Stern or Adam Silver, but it was the owners that all felt that way. And the same thing happened with the Chris Paul trade. When Chris Paul got traded to the Lakers, Dan Gilbert was the most emphatic owner that was upset with it. And then he was like, oh, this isn't cool. Like, I don't want this happening. So then the owners nixed the trade.
Well, I feel like he might have jumped the gun with the letter to Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Because
Football is America put a funny picture. He said, I don't know. He put a yelling thing. I don't know what you're yelling about. Go ahead.
But I feel like if he would approach him, you know, if he would have waited on the letter and approached him with the team, with all the other owners, like support first, and then went towards Roger Goodell would have no choice but to give him back his draft pick.
But that's the thing. It's not necessarily because it's not like all the other owners felt the same way about Robert Kraft. This is Robert Kraft's team. It's not the other owners' team. So the other owners aren't exactly going to be like, oh yeah, let's help Roger make his team better. Let's not forget the Patriots have been dominating everybody else's teams for a good amount of time. So it's not like they're all ready to jump on the bandwagon to help the Patriots get the picks back to become that much better.
But he's just trying to plead to them that it may happen to them.
Yeah, that this similar.
Well, going by that standpoint, they should understand that. I mean, I understand you got whooped by the Patriots. I mean, but still, you should understand that the same thing could happen to you.
And see, and that's essentially the reason why he accepted the punishment in the first place, because he accepted in the first place for the betterment of the NFL, because he knew that the NFL's image wouldn't look good if they were in court all the time pleading this and that. And then for something like what happened for Tom Brady to win the case, and now the commissioner's power is questioned. See, you know what I'm saying? When Tom Brady won that case, it opened the door for a lot of players to be like, you know what? If I appeal Roger Goodell's suspension, I might get it overturned too. So when that they tried to avoid that. So when he accepted it, he was like, okay, that probably won't happen.
You're not even worried about the image. You should have appealed it from the beginning.
But if he accepted it, there's no point in reading. You can't renege what you accepted.
And
that's the point. That's the point.
And initially that was his point until they went after Tom Brady. And when they went after Tom Brady, that's when he was like, because I mean, you hear some people feel as though maybe he might have accepted it to protect Bill Belichick. Because think about it, what would you take instead, for Bill Belichick to be banned from the league, or would you take a 4-game suspension for Tom Brady?
You take a 4-game suspension because you don't want your coach to be gone. You're
most winning Tom Brady's gonna be back
exactly.
In Patriots history. But at the same time, you accepted it, and just because they change up and go for something else now, you can't renege with your offer. Because at the same time, let's say he like, all right, I want my draft pick back. It's like, all right, well, we're going back for Bill Belichick. Then you're back in a cycle.
It is a cycle. It is a cycle. But his point is, you should keep it at one thing. Don't make this a back and forth thing. Keep it at one thing. If you're going to keep it, if you're going to go after Tom, go after Tom. If you're going to come after Bill, come after Bill. But prove it. The NFL didn't prove anything. That's the whole thing. The NFL, the Ted Wells investigation didn't prove. They said more likely than not, Tom Brady might have knowledge about it, but they didn't prove that he knew or he had anything to do with it. They had the text messages, they had the phones, they had all this, and they still couldn't prove that Tom Brady knew about it.
Well, the thing is, it's a winning organization in the Patriots, and the fact that it's them and that so many people can be targeted for like the blame.
Jim Dresky's phone, sorry. They had Jim Dresky's phone, the actual guy that inflates the ball. They didn't have Tom Brady's phone. They had other guy's phone. But yeah, so many people in this organization that can get targeted. And because it's such a great team, you know, it could be. That's why I guess he's using it for a perfect example. But and the fact that he's in this position
where you may or may not get the support from other coaches if you can't plead. I mean, other owners, if you can't give them a great plea. And then Roger Goodell won't give you back your draft picks because he has that authority. So in a sense, he's just in a very bad position.
See, I guess it's one of those things that it comes down to the thing of asking the question: are you fighting to prove your power? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you fighting to retain your power as commissioner that was collectively bargained towards you? He's saying if you're doing that, do your thing. Or are you just trying to prove the thing about Tom Brady? Because he's saying that if you're trying to prove your power as commissioner, why are you using us as an example? You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to go after Tom Brady, then do your thing with Tom Brady. But don't use the whole Patriots organization as an example.
But see, he can prove his power as an authority and still just not give back the draft picks.
That's essentially the position Roger Goodell's taken.
And he really doesn't have to, and he can still show that he's
I mean, we'll see how it turns out in court. I mean, the draft picks, it doesn't seem like Roger Goodell's going to give back the draft picks.
Those are gone.
You know what I'm saying?
The only thing that's going to happen is Tom Brady don't get suspension.
That's essentially the point that it comes down to now, whether if Tom will get suspended or not. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's show. It's KBR Sports, the best sports talk show every 24-hour day, coming to you on ODU Studios, the best in college radio. Follow us on Twitter at KBR_sports, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at KBR Sports, and listen to us on Rabble, Spreaker. You see our past podcasts on there, and also our past shows on our KBR Sports YouTube channel. For anybody that wants to join on the debate in the future, go to or call the number 757-683-4405. You can call in and join in on any debates and topics such as these. All right, y'all have a great day.